Hello everyone, this is the second installment of a series of ELEC327 lab for 2015 at Rice University. For this particular lab, we are required to generate a PWM, pulse width modulation, using timer and interrupts. The PWM has to be controllable, so we are required to generate PWM for 5%, 30%, 60% and 95%. The way I did it was I fixed the CCR0 value, which is at 200. It is low enough so that the flashing of the LED is too fast for a human eye to tell the difference. So we see the light being constantly on instead of flickering. To change the PWM, what we need to do is to change the CCR1 value. The lower it is, the dimmer, the lower the PWM, the dimmer the LED should become. In order to achieve that, I created a string of duty cycle here, an array, of duty cycle value here. The reason why 10 corresponds to 5%, 60 corresponds to 30%, and so on is because the total period is 200, as we can see over here, so that everything has to multiply by 2. That's the way I did it. And in order to change the CCR1, I used this interrupt routine. So every time the interrupt flag is triggered, it comes into this interrupt routine. I increment this integer and then take the modulus of that with respect to 4. So the U value just loops between 0, 1, 2, and 3, and then each time it changes, I change the CCR1 value to the corresponding value in the duty cycle array I created on the very top. And then put a delay cycle here is because the 200, this number 200 is designed to trigger interrupt faster than human eye can tell the difference. So without this, the change of the brightness can't really be seen. So I put this delay cycle here so that we can see the brightness change very, very clearly. Now I'm going to move over to the actual board. The board itself is pretty much the same as the last time. We have the MSP430 here, and we bypass this part of the board, and everything is hooked up to here with test reset and power ground. This LED, the only difference is that now this LED is powered through the port 2.1 instead of the port 1 as we did before. Last week I used this G2452 as the MSP430 that drives the LED, so I didn't have to plug and unplug this from the board. But the problem with this is that the G2452 only has one timer, and it wouldn't be enough for the next part of the lab, which requires 2 different interrupts for red and blue, I believe. So I set it to that. As you can see, the brightness of the LED is changing between 4 different levels, which is 5%, 30%, 60%, 95%. The reason why we still see a little flickering a little bit is because the sampling rate of the video camera is not completely aligned with the flashing rate of the LED, so we see a little offsets there. But to actual human eye, that would appear to be constantly on. I mean, of course, within a PWM value. Okay, so there it is, and I'll see you next lab.